Alright, here we are for match 1 with Mardu Burn. Really can't keep the 4-lander, just isn't good enough hand. This hand's fine, keeping one of the Searing Blazes, or one of the fetch lands. So, pretty good start for Burn. Unfortunately, a lot of times this just isn't good enough in the current meta, but I mean, there's a Burn hand that can win most matchups. It's creature, follow-up spell. So, keep back that. So I haven't had a chance to mess with the Mardu versions much. With Flage kind of tapping out our budget last month. I did pick up some of the cards to be able to play this version, so you know, we have the Blood Crypts and the Iridescent, whatchamacallits, the ones that drain with lands. Okay, Temple Garden. Not sure exactly what that means. Maybe Zoo that didn't reveal. Okay. Can't be Nadu, obviously. Nadu's banned, so. Some ways kind of hope we draw another land here. But as is, I think we have to fetch the Blood Crypt. The opponent apparently shocked in for some type of Spell Pierce or something, so. Oh, I'm an idiot. This is probably Living End. Like, that's the only deck I know that would have these weird colors and not have done anything on turn 1. So. Yep, Living End confirmed. Surprised they didn't pitch another fat creature last turn when they're discarding the hand size. Not exactly thrilled with this, but I mean, it is what it is. Do you have Force of Negation? Looks like unfortunately you do, or you're digging for it at least. I mean, our opponent does get to Living End if they have a basic here, otherwise they're kind of out of luck damage-wise. It looks like a lockup, yep. Alright, well, so I guess we bring in the Thoughtseizes and bring in the Rakdos Charms. This definitely isn't these matchups. Yeah, theoretically it's okay. Flage is kind of whatever. Whirling Vortex is fine. Go down these Searing Blazes. Any of the other cards make sense. No, kind of. Whatever. Skill crack, maybe? Alright, maybe finally get a chance to see how good... Nope, 5-lander, can't see how good Offspring is. Mulligan. And... very clunky hand, but I do think we have to keep it. Problem is we only get to deploy one card before they go nuts. I mean, it's not the most interesting of cards, but... fetch, land, and pass. Thoughtseize will be a good follow-up card. Mm-hmm. Don't want to risk Force of Negation here, so we kind of have to wait. Okay, wait till they put Living End on the stack first. Tang, 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 tang. Please let my fetch land resolve. Oh, okay, sure. Interesting time to do that, but whatever. Cost of 10. It does nothing. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. We'll get them synchronous to retard if they really want it. Bloop. Bounce that to our hand. Apparently nah. It's about the worst timing we can get on that one. Yeah, it's fine, but annoying. If they hit a living in here, we're just probably straight up lose. Because they'll have enough mana to living in plus crack the food from Generous Ent, so. Mm-hmm. Guess we get a little bit of information on the way out. No one of the cards in their hands, not a Waru. There's your other one. Foundation Breaker, sure. Alright, guess I'll play first. We'll try it, but this tap land might get us a little bit here. Two, 4, 6. Fetch Stomping, not Stomping Ground, fetch Sacred Foundry, play that. Goblin God hit for 2, 4, 6. Cast Lava Spike, cost Lava Spike, bump in the night. Obviously, if they have Subtlety or, you know, Force of Negation, our keep gets a little worse, but. Alright. Instantly undo our opponent's mulligan. Go. We'll keep that one. Show 12. Mm-hmm. Force negation, that one's kind of annoying. "12 hours of tanking, 'cause I'm a living player in Modern." Sure. Interesting decision. So, Temple Garden into Ardent Plea. Oh, no, we just... Sure. Alright. Nice. Alright, match number 2. Hey, can't keep a no-lander, unfortunately. Seems fun. Probably put back one of the Searing Blazes. Okay, grabbing Secret Foundry. Garland Guide. prime time. Okay, probably not the ideal matchup for us, but we'll go with it. Amuleto, shocker of shockers. Not going to show them the black mana. Not that they really have a lot of whatever to play around it anyway, but second amulet, okay. What the heck does this do? I see. Land? Not exactly ideal use of mana, but we'll roll with it. Amulet. Not 99% sure we're dead here, but let's roll with it. Arboreal Razor, sure. Block, block, take one. Gets to cast Explorer, sure. Well, no reason to show Iridescent here. Moving on. Alright, so definitely want the 4 Thoughtseizes. Those Charms, maybe. It's been a minute since I've seen a Titan list, so probably should see what the new tech for the deck is. Four amulets, 1 expedition map. Nothing hugely different other than Lumra and Aftermath Analyst. So more of a reason to leave Searing Blazes in. Northern Vortex is kind of a middling card against them anyway. Fatal Push. Maybe a little bit better than Searing Blazes. And then go down like 1 Iridescent Vine Lasher. Guess I would love to play first. Alright, so we'll keep this one. Not our best hand, but we do have a little bit of Disruption, Thoughtseize. So, a little bit of Disruption, nice clock. Maybe one more piece of interaction than we truly want, especially since their deck isn't usually too creature heavy. But show them Thoughtseize yet. Put for 1. Well, that's kind of an annoying one, but we'll roll with it. So maybe I should have let on Blood Crypt last turn. Put it to 18. Trigger. Go ahead and Thoughtseize you. So that's pretty much a Thoughtseize proof hand. I guess we take Amulet and hope we can kind of weather the Wondering here. So they basically get 4 mana here. You get to do the Wondering thing. So I know what their draw was. Spelunking. Seju, play the Wondering, bridge into Titan. And go get Titan. Bounce land Titan, because we know they have Selesnya in hand. Summoner's Pack, go get Titan. Yada yada yada. Who plays bounce land? Summoner's Pact on the stack. Go get Titan. Alright, and moving on. Alright, let's quick wrap up with some Mardu Burn. I think this list honestly is a little all over the place in terms of what it's trying to accomplish. Basically, I left the main deck almost 59 out of 60 cards from a couple lists I saw, other than removing the one copy of Barbarian Ring for second basic mountain. Main reason for doing that is there are some matchups where your life tool is under duress, and the second reason is simply because Harbinger of the Seas is a thing, so kind of need to be able to cast your spells. Don't really have an opinion on Iridescent yet. I think it's okay, but I still think it's worse than Goblin Guide and Swift Spear. I don't know if you really want to be playing Roiling Vortex main, and then the one of Thunderous Wrath hasn't come up yet. Sideboard, I mean, the 3 Eidolons and 4 Thoughtseize plans seems pretty reasonable against things like Storm, and that kind of stuff. And, you know, Thoughtseize seemed like a card that, backed by pressure, can be a reasonable answer to a lot of things that is giving Burn some problems. You know, it had the possibility of coming up against both Amulet and Living End. Unfortunately, when you Thoughtseize your opponent and they have, basically Titan, Amulet, the One Ring, and they already have, and Spelunking, and they already have a copy of the One Ring on the battlefield, it just doesn't really do you a whole lot in those spots. But, whereas something like Spell Pierce or something, you have to play it more reactively, and I honestly think black's a better color for Burn than blue is. 2 Sun Cleanser hasn't come up yet. I mean, obviously we haven't played against Boros Energy or Mardu Energy. Eidolon, really you only want this against specifically Storm. Rakdos Charm was fine, bought us some time in a Living End matchup in a game we ultimately lost. Exquisite Firecraft, I mean, Dimir Frogtide and Living End, as well as, different blue decks are out there, so Exquisite Firecraft's fine. Rakdos Charm, has some utility, blows up, Trinispheres, blows up Chalices. It also deals potentially a ton of damage against your energy opponent if they're going really wide. So, like the utility of this card. Fatal Push kind of gives you a clean answer against Frog specifically. So, I don't hate the idea of what this deck has going on, but we'll certainly have to test a little bit more, and we'll see how this mana base kind of pans out over long games. But as always, if you like Burn content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you for our next video.